This is breaking news that I'm following for you at this moment, and it's something that has had a lot of persons speaking about. Let's just tell you what it is. National Convention takes decisive action. That's the PDP's National Convention has taken decisive action, expelling Nyesom Wike, Samuel Anyanwu, Kamaldeen Ajibade, Ayo Fayoshe, Austin Nwachukwu, and others for anti-party activities. In a landmark move to restore unity, discipline, and focus ahead of the 2027 general elections, the People's Democratic Party (PDP) at its ongoing 2025 National Convention in Ibadan, Oyo State, has expelled high-profile members: Nyesom Wike, Senator Samuel Anyanwu, Kamaldeen Ajibade, SAN, former Governor Ayo Fayoshe, Honorable Austin Nwachukwu, and several others. The decision, which was promptly ratified by an overwhelming majority of delegates, underscores the party's commitment to eradicating internal divisions and anti-party conducts that have plagued its progress. So there has been this back and forth regarding these developments as it relates to the role that Wike played. We all know that Wike was very sad that the ticket of the PDP went to the North, the 2023 presidential elections, and most of what he has said have been really anti-party, given that he beat his chest in one of the interviews and stated that he made sure that didn't win that presidential election. I mean, even if it meant dining with the devil, he wouldn't mind. But as long as Atiku doesn't emerge as the president, then he's fine with it. And so many persons have supported the move, but I think the support for Wike stopped as soon as he started the altercation with Fubara, his successor. So I am going to read some of the comments that people have been making regarding this development. One would say, well, at what point would Wike really have his hands off PDP? And at what point really would he, stop all of the shenanigans? Because we all know what he was trying to do from the get-go. It was all about making sure that PDP remains down and out so that it would be easy for it will be one less headache for the ruling party, which is the ABC, in which government he serves in. So a whole lot of persons have been saying, at what point would the PDP call a spade and do the needful? But it does look like they have summoned some balls, and it's about time to show Wike out the door and let the party progress. So let me just read for you some of the messages that I have compiled for you, especially as it relates to this matter. There's been several reactions to this development. I don't know what your thoughts are. You can as well drop your thoughts in the comments. I would always love to hear from you, and we could also always go back and forth regarding this development. One Olusegun says, I can see a lot of people blaming Wike because of their hatred for him. Logically and without prejudice, let's sincerely read this. The late President Buhari, who was a northerner, spent 8 years as the president of Nigeria. After him, PDP still felt it was appropriate to give the presidential ticket to another northerner in Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. Did it make any sense? Where is the fairness? To make it worse, both the chairman and the presidential standard bearer of the party were from the north. As of that time, please, how did this make sense? You can hate Wike, but let's be rational. He fought for the right thing. Atiku's greed is the reason PDP is in turmoil today. Unfortunately, where is Atiku? He's left the party. There is no leadership in them. They are only after their interest and ego. Okay, yeah, you could say that to some extent for a southerner, okay? But another will tell you that since the beginning of the 2020, the dispensation from 1999 up until date, you could say that the southerners have actually ruled more. Buhari did 8 years, Yaradua did 2 years, that's what, 10 years. But if you count Obasanjo, count Goodluck Jonathan, and now Tinubu, you could say that the Southerners have gotten it more, even though there's a superior argument that also said that if Nigeria did not start existing from 1999, so if you want to do that, then start from 1960, who have ruled more compared to the resources in the south and compared to the resources in the north. And compared to the amount of persons who have ruled from the north and from the south, who do you think should have had more resources, should have more allocation, should be educated, should be better off? What particular part of the country should have been? Of course, it's the north, but everybody wants to score cheap political points, by putting out their own thoughts the way it suits them, so that it would sound really nice in the ears and in the mind of everybody. So on this platform, we just basically highlight everything and leave you to decide what exactly you want. All right, you can drop your comments on this particular video. Would always love to hear from you. This one says the state is bigger than the party. This is one of the major problems we have in Nigeria. The best minds often sit on the sidelines when their party is not in power. Wike is the FCT minister and he's willing to work with the current administration. The party can still be in opposition and share responsibility. We live in a democracy. I grew up supporting the PDP, aligned with the GEJ and OBJ side of the PDP, progressives, and willing to work for the country over party. Nigeria first. The PDP should return to its roots and run effective campaigns with strong grassroots supports. This one says, this move to expel Wike Ayodele by the PDP is the best move in the right direction. Those anti-party agents collided with Tinubu's APC to cause havoc in the party during the 2023 general elections. INEC should take note of this decision because it's long overdue. Seyi Makinde can come clear now, including Atiku, to determine the way forward for the party. Well, Atiku has left the party. I'm not too sure he's going to be interested in coming back. For convention, why INEC no attend? For convention, why INEC no attend? See you in court. If you do, I do you. If you do me, I do you. This one says, this move to expel Wike, Fayose, and others for anti-party activities is a bold step towards reclaiming PDP's soul. Their 2023 support for Tinubu and the APC fractured the party. Discipline was overdue. But why spare Seyi Makinde? Good point. Good point. I mean, because if you want to look at it from the premise of what really happened, the G5 was what caused the downfall of the party's chances of the 2023 presidential election. Makinde was part of the G5. We had the governor of Benue, the governor of Enugu at the time, the governor of Rivers 3, and then we have the governor of Oyo State, that's Makinde. And then there is a fifth person. Wine is there, Benue, yes, Makinde. It was a G5. Forgotten what the fifth person was. I mean, if you can remember, please let me know. But there's a fifth person, and they were all out to scuttle the chances of the PDP to win that election. Because again, I mean, it was clear that most people in the South were disgruntled by the move to give another northerner the opportunity to rule the country, when of course it was clear that it's Southerners that were supposed to take over the position of ruling the country. So imagine if Atiku had won that election in 2023, we would have been counting a Northerner who ruled 8 years, another Northerner taking over 8 years. That's 16 straight years. A Northwest finished, go to the Northeast. And maybe at that time they will start talking about it's not about party anymore. It's not about party anymore. It's about individuals. It's about people who can rule, who can get things going. Nah, that's not going to work out this time. There's an unwritten agreement between the North and South about where power goes to, where it gets us to. So it's very important that everybody knows that when one particular section of the country finishes at least the 8 years, the power should automatically shift to the other side. I'm not going to come here and start advocating for anything along the lines of maybe keeping power in one position. The craze, the madness of keeping power in one side of the country is that particular region starts feeling like their birthright to rule. That was what happened during the military. During the military, you had back-to-back Northerners ruling and taking over power, doing themselves back and forth, and then they felt like it was a birthright to rule. So we wouldn't allow that happen in democracy. Even if it means, I've heard people say that in the South, that even if it means bringing a 12-year-old to come and rule, as long as this is not the turn of the North to take over the position, then the North should not come over. The North should not step up. It should never step up. That's my point. I don't know what you think in the comments. I would love to hear from you as always. Take care. Have a good one.